Hello there. Thanks for dropping by. My name's James Michael, and I'm the founder of Justified Talent. We're a specialist recruitment firm that works with small businesses here in Australia, generally to recruit their very first sales professional. And one of the reasons that I built the business and kicked the business off starting in January of 2018 was because I was of the opinion that recruitment, as we knew it, was kind of broken. The fact of the matter is, when you're engaging a recruiter, there are two key things that you want them to be able to do. Certainly, importantly, you want them to be able to attract the best quality talent that's available in the marketplace, in one way, shape, or another, whether it's from an existing database, whether it's through advertising, whether it's through direct outreach. So, you're wanting them to bring the best available talent to your opportunity. Secondly, and I'm going to suggest to you far more importantly, is you actually need your recruiter to have a bit of a crystal ball. You need them to be able to discern that the people they subsequently present to you not only can, but will do the job for you. And the fact of the matter is, most of that up until now has been done via gut feel. So the promise that we make here at Justified Talent is no more gut feel. We're going to present talent to you who will have been thoroughly assessed using fit-for-purpose job fit assessments. And as a consequence of that, we're going to present to you decision data, which is 300% more reliable than the traditional recruitment process is. Fact of the matter is the recruitment crystal ball is broken. And we know that because it only really kind of brings high performers to organizations 26% of the time. Right now, I know from my own experience, I've owned 8 businesses in the last 30 years, that the number one concern that we small business owners have when we're thinking of hiring our first sales hire or another new sales hire is, what if I get it wrong? What if they don't work out? Because the fact of the matter is, at the very least, that's going to be frustrating and disappointing and can be quite stressful. But it could also end up being quite financially catastrophic. So, that's our promise to you, is that we're going to ensure that the people that we present to you are completely and utterly justified. And so we do that by recruiting with data. Right. So it's about not having any guesswork anymore. The fact of the matter is, sales is not only a bunch of processes and methodologies, but it's also about human beings behaving in a particular fashion. And the fact is, not everybody is cut out to behave in the way that is required for people to be successful at selling. Not everybody's naturally cut out to be a professional salesperson. And so, it's our job to make sure that we discern that. So what you see on the screen right now is our 5-stage process. So we spend some time identifying exactly who is it that's going to be needed to be able to sell your service or your product into your marketplace. Right. So not all salespeople are exactly the same. They're not all cut from the same cloth, and they ought not be. Right. You're not looking for somebody who's cookie cutter. You need somebody very specifically to represent you in your marketplace to your potential clients. We'll then go about attracting those candidates. We've got a very, very in-depth process, which I'll share with you in a moment, around selecting and screening and making sure that the people have absolutely got what it is that you're going to need for them to be successful in the role. Obviously, we then ultimately recruit them for you. And, in that, we're pitching your opportunity and pitching your role just as much as pitching them to you. And then once you've put the person on, it's not a case of us sending an invoice and saying, see you later and best of luck. We'll actually work with you in the first 90 days to make sure that you optimize that new hire. Right. So let's dig into that just a little bit. First of all, we're going to create a job ad campaign, and it really doesn't matter, whether we're tapping into our database, which is now 8,000 plus salespeople, or whether we're doing cold outreach via LinkedIn, or whether we're putting an ad on, job boards. You need to have a campaign. We need to have somewhere that anybody who's interested in the opportunity can come to and visit and take a look at what the role is all about. What you'll see here is through our technology and through our bespoke platform, the moment we send an advert live, it goes live on all of the sites that you see here. It also goes live on Facebook. If we have a video accompanying the campaign, which we thoroughly recommend, then it's going to go on YouTube as well. And so ultimately, what we're kind of saying to you here is, wherever your ideal candidate is hanging out, we're going to get the opportunity in front of them. And the results of that, I'm going to suggest to you, are quite profound. This is a snapshot from our Seek dashboard. Obviously, Seek is the major player. We don't rely on Seek solely, but it is the major player in the marketplace in terms of job boards are concerned. And as you can see here, the way that we write our ads means that we tend to outperform other job ads of a similar nature. right? And you can see the numbers on the screen here. You know, we had 50% more people finding our job when they were searching on Seek. We had 103% more than would normally happen actually clicking through. And then 21 of those people applied for the role, which was 91% more than a similar job ad. So the way that we write our ads and craft our ads is designed to help your job stand out in what is a very, very crowded marketplace, particularly at this point in time. All right, once they start to apply, they come into our portal, and the very first thing we're interested in doing is getting an understanding of their hardwired nature. Who are they? How do they function? Right. And so one of the things that we'll measure right from the very beginning using a proprietary tool is their response to stress. The fact of the matter is sales is inherently stressful. It's a job where every single day the salesperson gets to get out of bed and look forward to a whole bunch of rejection, a whole bunch of people potentially saying no to them. And they've got to be able to, withstand that. And as those no's are coming throughout the day in one way, shape, or form, we need to know how it is that they're going to respond to the stresses and strains of that. And so what you'll see here with what we describe as the spider graphs, these are the ideal kind of temperaments that we're looking for that are going to help that person deal with the stress and inherent nature of being involved in sales. We'll take a look at their natural operating style, right? We'll have a look at how directive they are versus passive, how friendly they are versus assertive, and you want a nice balance of that, how cooperative they are versus being competitive. You don't want somebody who's overly competitive, but you also don't want somebody who's overly cooperative. Bit of a Goldilocks story here. And then the degree to which they like to partner versus oppose. So we'll look into that. We're also going to take a look at something that we call IACT. We don't believe in cover letters, but we do believe in cover videos. And so, for those people who've come through our initial screening and they look like, what we're looking for, we'll then send them an invitation to upload a 5-minute cover video for us. The key thing that my team and I are looking for is this IACT. Are they intelligent? Are they articulate? Are they confident in terms of how they present? And are they comfortable with technology? You need all 4 of those things, particularly in this day and age, if you've got any chance of being successful in sales. And so we'll shine a light on their IACT. Something that's really, really coming out as a very, very strong indicator of likelihood for sales success is optimism and resilience. And so we use a tool called QO2. It's an Australian design tool created by a Brisbane-based organization called Team Management Systems. And the QO2, as you can see here, measures 5 fundamental areas: how much energy this person will expend in moving towards their goals. When they're coming up against obstacles, will they take multiple pathways? Are they focused on the past, the present, or the future? To what degree will they spend some time and some energy in looking for fault and looking for why things may not work out? And you do want a degree of that in a salesperson. You don't want naive Nancy or somebody with rose-colored glasses, because they get taken by surprise when things don't work out. And then it ultimately measures their optimism. There's a sub-reading in here, which is resilience. You can see the score on this particular individual is 4.1. The average in the Australian population at the moment is 2.2. So, we're looking for people who are generally scoring 3.0 and above, right, in terms of their optimism and resilience. We want to know what their motivation is and how fulfilling they find sales. And the way in which we measure that is by, in fact, understanding how likely are they to make excuses to do something other than selling, right? How to what degree will they find themselves very, very busy doing things other than selling, right? And so we have a tool which is called the Excuse Index, which measures, exactly that. Okay, we'll measure their sales competence. Obviously, you want to know whether or not they've got the competence or not. Okay, and so you can see a very comprehensive list here of the overall competencies that are involved in sales. The fact of the matter is very few people are going to score high in all of these. But we want to have an understanding of, just what are we really looking at here in terms of what does this individual carry around in their tool bag? And then the final piece is using a psychometric assessment. It's a multi-construct psychometric assessment called the Profile Sales Assessment. It is the single most predictively reliable assessment of its kind in the world today. I've been using it for over 25 years. What you see with the blue squares there is the benchmark that has emerged of those people who are consistently top quartile performers in solution selling in a B2B environment. right? And as we put the candidate through this assessment, the big square is where this individual has landed. Some of them are blue, some of them are yellow. When they're yellow, they're outside of the benchmark. And so we have a tool here that gives us an incredibly deep insight and shines a light on exactly what their nature is versus the benchmark. And the idea here is the more naturally inclined I am to behave in the way that the benchmark describes, then the more naturally inclined I am to be successful in the role. So look, I just wanted to give you a bit of an overview here. We certainly go into quite a lot of depth. We're very, very much about gathering data. And rather than you having to make a gut feel assessment or use your spidey senses, we want to be able to give you data which is 300% more predictively reliable. Typically, our assignments are taking somewhere between 4 and 6 weeks before we then present, our shortlisted candidates to you. Ideally, we'll try and present 3 shortlisted candidates to you. And as we present them to you, every single piece of data that you've seen in this presentation is presented to you as well. So we're able to rationalize exactly why this person is ideal for your job. The fact of the matter is, I showed a number earlier that said that the recruitment process, the traditional process as you and I know it, only gets top quartile performers 26% of the time. Here's something that's even more frightening. 48% of first sales hires into small businesses fail, and not for the reasons that you might think. So if you're thinking of hiring your first salesperson, and we'd love to help you do that, what we would encourage you to do is, use the QR code here to go to what we describe as our sales readiness to hire scorecard. And that's going to take you about 4 minutes to complete. It's very, very quick, no cost to you, no obligation to you. It will then generate a bespoke report to you that will identify things within your sales ecosystem. So not the salesperson, but within your sales ecosystem that might warrant from some fine tuning, some further attention before you bring the person in. Because the fact of the matter is, the reason so many people fail as they go into a small business as the first sales hire is the sales ecosystem isn't set up enough to support them in the role. Thanks very much for watching. This is short and sweet, or at least it's short and sweet as I can possibly make it. If you'd like to have a more in-depth conversation about your recruitment need, I would be delighted to have that conversation with you. You can see our website here, justifiedtalent.com. Please reach out to me, James M @justifiedtalent.com, and let's see if we can't help you out. Thanks for watching. Bye.